Good morning, everyone. Good morning. Hello, beautiful healers, powerful healers, time changers, miracle workers. Hello, beautiful light beings, keepers of the light. It feels so good to be here. Such a beautiful group to bring together all the amazing healers. So to begin, let me go ahead and introduce myself. And when you join me, go ahead and say hello so that I know you're on here. And as I am presenting, if there's any questions, make sure that you type it in the comments. And I'll be able to see it and answer your questions. So real quick, for those of you who don't know me, my name is Abigail Mensah Bonsu. I am the founder and the CEO of the Moon Goddess Academy, the Moon Goddess Circles, as well as the Moon Goddess Publishing House. I'm also the host for the Sovereign Divinity podcast. I am considered in my work, I am known as the Elevated Consciousness and Divine Feminine Embodiment Mentor. I am also known as the Multidimensional Healer, which I'm going to be talking about today, what that means and why that is important at this time. And I'm also a best-selling author. So, yes, we're here. And happy new month. I mean, I hope you guys are so ready for what this month is about to bring in. Like, the energy is incredible. So, shall we? Let's just dive in. First, I want to go into what a healer is. Let's just start with that. And we're going to move into who the multidimensional healer is. And just a quick story. This topic came up in a group where I think there was a post asking who were the healers in the group or something like that, and a couple of us answered the question as we were the multidimensional healers. There's like a few of us, and I realized so many people didn't know what a multidimensional healer is. And on top of that, there are some people that even went to the extent of kind of like retaliating in a way, because it looked like it might just be a title. You know, I mean, it makes sense if you're looking in this realm that we're playing with. You know, titles are just names. But in this case, and I'll talk more about it as I dive into the multidimensional healer aspect, you know, the title, there's something empowering with that, because when you choose a title, you know, what you're doing is you're claiming the purpose behind the title. It's not just words that sit there. It is what is describing your soul, right? And so it made me, brought to my awareness how many people didn't know who a multidimensional is. So what is the difference between a healer and a multidimensional healer? So I'm going to break it down. And don't be surprised if you're like, oh my gosh, I didn't know I was a multidimensional healer, because I'm already doing this stuff. Or also don't be surprised if after this you get activated to step into that next level of being a healer, right? So a healer, and just like the definition from the what do you call it, the dictionary, a healer is someone who seeks to cure diseases or heal injuries. So the way I see a healer, the healer is very attuned to the earth plane, the physical plane, right? So the healer can be a therapist, the healer can be your doctor, the healer can be, let's see here, like the herbalist, right? The healer, the main foundation of a healer is very much rooted into the earth plane, right? Helping you to connect to the wisdom of your body so that you can understand what is going on, and also tap into its healing, not just tap into, but activate its healing capabilities. So I feel like that's like the first level, right? And we were all, like all of us as a whole, we were at that level where we needed to get that foundation part down, right? A healer is someone who activates that wisdom within you so that you understand that you have the ability to heal yourself. They are the guides, right? They're the channel. And in this case, it feels more like really anchoring that that wisdom into the physical realm. It's about understanding your physical body, right? And a shaman goes both ways. I'll talk more about that, but a shaman is a great example of a healer. They have the ability to use the wisdom, the medicine from the land. They're able to scan your body and see where the ailments are, right? And then kind of work with that. But the shaman also crosses over to the multidimensional healer when it steps into the cosmic zone, right? And I'll go into that. But if you join the group, if you join me, go ahead and say hello so I know you're here. But I want to hear from you. How have you been serving as a healer? How has this come up for you? Like for me, being a healer, I was born as a healer. And so for me, the first thing, the way that I did it was that I would take on like I didn't want people to suffer. And so I'll take on, if they're sick, I'll take on the sickness. And they would recover very quickly, and I will I'll kind of work it out for them. Now, I didn't have any mentors when I was growing up, right? When I was a child, I didn't have any mentor to say, hey, you don't have to take it on in your body. You don't have to absorb it in your body. There's a better way of doing it. Like if you're a healer, you've been through this, and perhaps you're still going through this, just trying to figure this out, right? It's like we have this gift of empathy that if we don't have an imbalance can cross over, and we begin to let me just take your suffering. Right? Let me just take your suffering so you don't have to suffer anymore. Hello, Amy. Thank you for joining me. Hello. Right? And we are in a time in the 3D, and hopefully you've heard about the whole 3D or the third dimension and the fifth dimensional of consciousness where we're at right now. In the 3D, that made sense because it was about anchoring that wisdom. It was about really understanding what it means to be human, going through our karmic processes, healing. It was like heavy work that we did. But we've reached a time where we need to go beyond that. We are capable of that. So we're being pushed to go beyond that because we are already capable of that. So with that said, let's go ahead and just dive right into multidimensional healer. So the multidimensional healer has the foundation of understanding, the basics of the human body, right? So the physical, the mental, the emotional bodies, right? Working with those bodies and, tapping into the nature and bringing that medicine to the body, seeing how the physical body is doing, right? And again, physical body is huge here. When you step into the multidimensional realm, you're going beyond just those bodies. So, of course, you're looking at, for example, when I have a client, immediately it's like, okay, physical body, mental body, emotional body, spiritual body, light body. And then all of a sudden, I'm taken into past lives, future self, dimensional selves. Or I'm taken into different realities that are also happening at the same time in this reality, and I'm scanning to see where whatever we're working on started, where the root is. So I am not limited as a multidimensional healer. I am not limited to just this reality, just this dimension. I'm able to go into every part of your being to get to the root cause of this. So it makes the healing really quickly, right? Here's the thing. The title of the being of the multidimensional healer is coming up more and more now. You're being asked to claim that aspect of your work, of your purpose, because human being is a multidimensional being. And the more our consciousness rises up, the more we step into more of our mystery, the more we realize that I am not just limited to my physical being. I'm not just limited to this physical body. There's so much more to me. I mean, some of you have already worked with past life. You're very used to past life, future lives, right? And perhaps maybe some of you have been working in other dimensional realms or other realities. That is all the multidimensional healer. The multidimensional is The multidimensional healer is catering to the human in all that he or she is on every level. So I'm not just focused on physical. Oh, you have a physical pain here. Okay, what caused that pain? Okay, here's the solution to that pain, right? I am looking at, okay, so you got a bite right there, okay, and it's infected, okay. What else is going there? How did you get the bite? Okay, what were you feeling? What were the thoughts going through your mind? Is this something that has been occurring through past lives? Is this a past life thing that needs to be healed, that is coming through that experience? Is this something that a vow that you made that will limit you somehow? You know what, like you go through the process, like as a whole. I'm looking at you as a whole. I'm going to give you an example. When I was pregnant with my son, it was very interesting because I kept seeing this shadow man will come into my bedroom, and with my work, I mean, multidimensional healer is just one of the things that I do. I'm also a warrior. So when that happened, I was like, you get out now, right? Going through all that stuff. And it didn't matter what I did, like that being would just come and just like kind of look at me, kind of observing me, and then disappear. And one day I was talking to my friend. She's like, did you ever think that it might be your son in a different dimension? And the moment she said that, it just clicked. So the next time I saw the being, I called it forward and I asked who it was. And sure and behold, it was my son. And it was a past life version of him that needed to do some work. Like I needed to do some clearance with him. It was like a lot of clearing heavy stuff. And it took me through like this. Oh, it was powerful. It was like deep clearing karmic stuff. Like it was clearing the path for him so that he didn't need to bring all that crap in. And by the way, a lot of these new babies coming through, they're going through it the same thing. Like their mothers are probably having to go through the same thing. Like they're coming in very pure and very focused. The energy, they know why they're here. Like beautiful beings coming in at this time. Right, so I was able to work with my son's past life self and clear all that karmic garbage that he didn't want to bring into this lifetime, right, and set him free from that. And that was so powerful. And then we were taken into a future where I was able to bless that part. It was so incredible, right? So a multidimensional healer opens up to look at the being as a whole, not just physically, not just emotionally, not just mentally, not just spiritually, but also, what other lifetimes are affecting you in this present time? What other realities are going on right now that are canceling what is going on right now? Like what they're creating some kind of havoc in your life right now. What other dimensions are you existing in right now that needs to be merged with you? How scattered is your energy? What needs to come back to you in this present time so you can truly be your whole and experience the best human experience ever, right? So I want you to, and I bet you most of you are doing this work, you just didn't even realize that is who the multidimensional healer is. We're really going beyond just what we feel, just what we see with our physical eyes. We're really going beyond all those senses and really tapping into all that we are, which is the infinite self, right? So let me know if you have any questions so far. Let's see here. I love this one. It's like we are all beings that have several aspects, facets, and levels of reality that are true and real as the physical dimension. We're really tapping into who we are as a multidimensional being. Being a multidimensional being means that I can exist right here in the physical plane, and at the same time I can exist in a future life. I can exist on another planet. I can exist on another dimension. I can exist also in a past life. Like we have this going on all the time. It's just the same as having, like the inner child, right? Just because we're not a baby anymore, we're not a toddler anymore, like that aspect of us is still very much present and living. And knowing that you have all these aspects of yourself, you're able to bring it together so that you can truly be the whole, fully whole, infinite being that you are. It also, it's like when you step into that realization, it really takes out that limited belief, that limited feeling that I am just this flesh. Because even in this physical existence, you're still more than that. You really tap into the infinite self that you are. That you're not stuck after all. That this life is not all that there is. That's why we have the ability to tap into past lives and retrieve memories, retrieve parts of ourselves. That's why we have the ability to tap into the angelic realm and get healing, get messages. That's why we're able to tap into the realm of the masters of light or the ascended masters. That's why we have the ability to tap into our future selves and get tips on how to go through, whatever we're going through right now. They're not coincidences. This is who we are. And it's time for us to really embrace that. It is time for us to see that and feel that on all levels of our being. More and more people are waking up to this wisdom. And because of this, more healers. And it's not just the healers, visionaries, everyone, Wayshowers. There we go. I was about to say waymakers. They're also waymakers, but wayshowers. We're all being challenged to step into the next level because humanity is evolving into the next level, which is our infinite self, that we're not stuck to the physical plane. Right? Yeah. Pretty amazing, right? Pretty amazing. So I have a story real quick. I was working with a client and she came in to do a past life session. There was something that she's been trying to work on for a long time, but it just was not budging. It does not matter who she went to, what healer she went to. She still had, I think it was like a back pain. It was like a back pain that just would not go away. And so she heard me talk about past life experiences and, knowing what I do. And she's like, can I come and get experience that with you? And it was very interesting because during the session, it's like first, she was taken into this life. It was more like an in-between where her guide was there, and her guide did this powerful healing on her. I mean, she was on the table, like feeling it. She was like vibrating on the table. It was so intense for her, and it was all on her back. And after that, I was like, oh, so that's it. We're done. No, it was not. She was zoomed into past life where she was able to see how that injury occurred, how it began, like the root of that injury, right? And so she was able to live that past life and go through that. And the beauty of that is that when that past life was done, she brought that wisdom with her, but there was also a healing that occurred. Right, because she went to the root of it. Oh, this is how it occurred. I don't need to carry that into this lifetime. I am willing and open to healing that and closing that once and for all. Right, powerful. And when that was done, I was like, okay, I think this might be no. Then she was zoomed into like I think what they call it. It's not a future life. It was like a time where. Before she came down to this planet. So she went back to her source self when she was one with source. And it completely blew my mind. Because at that point, I thought, past life regression, we're just going to stick to past lives. That's what's going to happen. But I realized that each client I had, we never just did past life. It was like a whole progression. It was a whole story. Whatever they needed, they went through that. And so eventually I just let them, I guided them on the way, and I let them walk the path to receive whatever healing they needed, to receive whatever solutions they needed, to receive whatever blessings they needed. I just I trusted that the soul would take them to where, and it never failed. Like, it blew my mind all the time. Those experiences completely opened me up in terms of my service, in terms of what I do. I knew that I wasn't limited to just one thing. Another example is when I first was initiated as a Reiki master. And I remember getting my initiations or attunements, which is what it's called. And I remember just feeling like, I don't feel like this energy can just come through my hands. I don't feel like I need to put my hands on someone for them to receive this. And I had this, I just felt, I had this inner knowing that I could literally heal someone by just looking at them. That I could just heal someone by them just listening to me. And I remember talking to my teacher about that, and he was like, hey, you got this. Whatever your soul wants to do, it knows exactly what it needs to do. And so I expanded my energy. I stepped away from this is how it's supposed to be and stepped into what am I here to do? Because whatever our purpose is connected to what humanity and the planet needs. And when we keep boxing ourselves into just one thing, like this is what I'm supposed to do, this is all I can do, you're limiting yourself. We've reached a time on the planet where you have the ability to literally break open and see all that you are. The more of yourself you can bring into this lifetime, the more you can be of greater service. Who is here for greater service to humanity? If you're in this group, I know you're feeling that call. Or you're already in that call. You are so much more than what we see, than what we perceive. There's so much to you. And in your work, it's the same thing. Open up to see the person in front of you. So much more. My husband keeps making fun of me because sometimes we're talking and he's like, who are you talking to? Are you talking to me right now? Or are you talking to my past life self? Or are you talking to one of my other dimensions? Like who are you talking to? Because I will answer stuff that he didn't say physically, but sometimes it's like a past life stuff that came through, right? And it is so cool because this is how I interact with the human being. You would think it's chaotic, right? You're like, oh my gosh, all this coming in. No, it's like a movie. Okay, this is what I need to see in order to be of greater service to you. But you have to be open. As a healer, it is a powerful, powerful gift that you have. It is no longer just about Reiki and putting your hand on someone. It is no longer about just working with herbs. Like, it is so much more. For example, if you're working with herbs, right, the physical herbs, making medicine, tap into the energetics of that herbs. Begin to talk to the herbs. Listen to the herbs. My husband is a magician with that, right? He gets it. Like, he can. I remember one time he works in the Chinese herbal store here in the school in Denver, and we both went to that school. But every time he would go into the pharmacy, like I would hear all the herbs like, yay, you're back. And I was telling him this. It was hilarious, right? But he's like, yeah, they totally talk to me. Like, if I need something, they'll tell me. If someone comes in, they need something, they'll bring my attention to what I need, right? Take yourself to the next level. Allow yourself to see what else, who else can you be in your power, in your magnificence, in your gifts, in your purpose. The beauty about the multidimensional healer is that you remove the boundaries. We are infinite beings, and it's the same with the multidimensional healer, really awakening you to the infinite self, the infinite being that you are, and your capability as a multidimensional healer. You're breaking the walls of limitations. You're breaking those boxes that you've put around you, like this is how it's supposed to be. And you're saying, no, remove the box. Look at all that you are. Such a beautiful gift. I love what I do. And I love awakening others to this wisdom. Whether they're here to be multidimensional healers, whether they're here to be visionaries, whether they're here to be time benders, like whatever they hear, magicians, whatever they hear to become, it's about breaking those limitations, those boxes of this is all that I am to no, there's so much more. So much more to me. And the more I embrace myself, the more I embody all that I am, I can be of more service to humanity, because humanity wants to be all that it is. So as you do this for yourself, you can step forward and be of greater service to, I mean, I'm just talking about humanity as a whole, but even the new generation coming, they require us to even step it up even more. I can't even begin to tell you the initiations and the activations that I went through with my son as I was pregnant with him. I mean, the whole 9 months, I felt like I was in my own cave of initiations. It was very powerful, very spiritual for me. It was very like an inner world for me. I was withdrawn and just me. It felt good, right? But it was so much energetic attunement just so that I can match his energy, his vibration, his higher frequency that he was bringing in. And a lot of mothers who are bringing in these high frequency souls are feeling the same thing. And if you are not stepping it up, you won't know how to help them. You will not be able to understand that it is the soul coming through attuning the mother so that they can be a match. And once the mother is attuned, they stay attuned. They're going to be operating from that higher frequency, but they also need to continue that work, because once the soul comes into the physical realm, they're going to continue to evolve, which means that the mother has to continue to evolve. The father needs to continue to evolve, right? Our work is never ended. We're not meant to be stagnant. We're not meant to be stuck. So allow yourself to expand. Begin to think, who can I really be beyond this confines that I've created? Who am I really as a healer? What is it that I'm here to do? And last story I want to share, you go through all these initiations and different gifts get activated within you and you use it. And I reached a point I was like, all my gifts are here, on point, we're doing this, let's go. And then early this year, actually it was late last year, I started having an urge to speak light language. And it was this pressure in my throat, it needs to come out. Before then, I was used to, doing the symbols and toning it, but I had never spoken. I never had the urge to speak it. And so the pressure started. And then early this year, finally, I was like, higher self, help me out here. What is this all about? Help me get this out. And my higher self was like, why don't you just pick up your phone and start talking? And I did. I didn't hesitate, and it just started flowing. Just when I thought I had all the gifts that I already had, something else opened. And I realized that gift came online exactly at the time where my clients needed it the most. It also expanded me to the new people coming in to work with me. It's a higher level of support for them. So I invite you to really begin to wonder who you are beyond the confines of what you've created. Our gifts are endless, but we get to choose which ones we want to bring into this reality that we're currently in, this lifetime that we're in. And it also depends on who we are of service to. That's why when someone says, I'm just clairaudient, I can't, It's like, no, you are actually all of them. Which one do you desire to experience? If you at any point you're like, I desire to have all my senses on board, you would get those activated too. There's so much to us that we need to begin to step into. And it's a huge part of what I do. Really breaking down the mindset boxes, the limitations, and allowing others to expand into the infinite self. And speaking of that, so I'm going to end this talk. I'm going to pull a card from, it's so funny, from the Infinite deck. And this deck is beautiful. It is created by Patricia Wald Hopkins. And I believe she's a member in this beautiful group. She's an amazing, beautiful healer. I absolutely adore this woman. And so I'm going to pull a card from her new deck, which is gorgeous, to just kind of help us anchor all this wisdom that you've received in. And, you know, as you listen to this at any point, at any time, if there's any questions or any ahas, I would love to hear from you. Put it in the comments and I'll come back and check it. So let's see what card comes in to really help us anchor this wisdom and open us up to our infinite self. You ready for this? So we just got the Orchid Queen, the enlightened being. How perfect is this? So the Orchid Queen, look at how beautiful this card is. Represents joy, love, and compassion. Just all wrapped up in a healer, right? All of us have this gift, right? Powerful gift. So here's the message. She offers you, the Orchid Queen. Let me take a drink. The Orchid Queen offers you the frequency of joyful compassion. Be gentle with yourself as you evolve. She supports you to be a powerful beacon of ecstatic delight in service of divine love. She radiates the essences of Litsi, Roman chamomile, bergamot, and lime. So these will be great essences to work with. I'm going to read that again. The Orchid Queen, the enlightened being that you are, okay, offers you the frequency of joyful compassion. Be gentle with yourself as you evolve. She will support you to be a powerful beacon of ecstatic delight in service of divine love. This reminds me, there's so many healers that I've met that are literally suffering right now. Part of being the gift of a healer is that you operate in the essence of divine love, pure ecstasy and bliss. The reasons why healers suffer is because they're still living through their trauma, they're still living through their pain. To the point that they actually become that trauma, they actually become the pain. And they get stuck in this cycle, right? I'm going to tell you that you're not meant to suffer for the rest of your life here as a healer. You're not. The experiences you had helped you become enriched in your wisdom so you can help others who go through those experiences, so you can help liberate them. You can help empower them, inspire them, uplift them. And it's okay as a healer to want to be healed. It's part of our journey. You know, everything that we do for others, we need to like 10 times it for ourselves. Because we are a master of that journey. And that mastery comes from us taking care of ourselves. It's a non-negotiable. Be gentle with yourself. Take care of yourself. The more you help others, you need to help yourself even more. You need to take care of yourself even more. You are precious, healer. Your gift is so potent and so needed in this time. But we need all that you are. We need you in your brightest light. We need you in your highest joy. We need you to be living in that abundance and wealth, because the more happy you are, the more abundant you are, guess what? The more you can help others, the more you can reach, the further you can reach to help others. Don't limit yourself. You're not meant to be limited. You're meant to expand. You are infinite. From my heart to yours, thank you for joining me. Let's see here. Hello, my love. Hello, Lyra. Hello. Yes, thank you. So thank you for being here with me. If you watch this later, feel free to post a comment, post your questions. I'll come back and check it out and answer any questions that you put on there. And I will put, when I'm done here, I'll put ways that you can find me. So if you love my energy and you would love to connect more with me, you can find me easily. All right, from my heart to yours, have a fabulous weekend. Bye, everyone.